This is where it began for Cory Schneider. 2,500 miles from where he first developed his game on sheets of ice in New England. The ex-Canuck back in the Northwest. This is where the Devils, suddenly on the wrong end of a streak for the first time in a month, turn to one of the game's most consistent netminders and say, get us out of this. It's back to Vancouver for Cory. It's the Devils and Canucks closing game of the road trip. Next on MSG.
From scenic British Columbia, it's the Devils' one and only trip to the province this regular season and the last of a 3-game trek through Western Canada. Tonight from Rogers Arena, it's the Devils and Canucks, and the opening face-off is straight ahead. Welcome to Vancouver. I'm Deb Placey. This is a rematch from 2 weeks ago, a game the Devils won in overtime, but not before a lot of bad blood was spilled onto the ice. For more on that and more on the meaning of tonight's game, we go to our pair who will call it Steve Cangelosi and Ken Danico.
Thanks a lot, Devin. Strong words from the Devils after the loss in Edmonton 2 nights ago. Captain Andy Green said, time to look in the mirror. Coach John Hynes, we need to be better in every facet of the game. And Kenny, if things don't improve tonight, they'll have no points to show for a long road trip. Where do they really need to be better?
Well, if their compete level isn't at an all-time high, if they don't win those one-on-one battles, they're not going to create enough offense. There's little margin for error with this team. Nothing comes easy. They've shown it this season, the way they're capable of playing. The puck movement hasn't been quite as sharp the last couple of nights, and they have to just get in those dirty areas, those scoring areas to get more goals. We knew at the start of the year they may have trouble finding offense sometimes. That's happened the last couple of games. It's just a little more compete level, a little more execution as far as passes go, and really crashing that net, being determined, winning those one-on-one battles, and getting to rebounds.
Changes to the Devils lineup tonight include Eric Jelena and Stefan Matteau in, and Cory Schneider will be between the pipes. You really didn't think he'd sit out both games against his former team this year, did you? The ex-Canuck making his 5th career start versus Vancouver. He's played well against the Canucks, but he's beaten them just once. More pertinent is how he's played this season. 2.05 goals against average. That's the 4th best in the league, and he remains the best barometer of how good the Devils can be on any given night.
And if the Devils are going to get anything out of this Western Canadian swing, they may have to lay their hat on this man, Cory Schneider, in the net. He's been terrific most of this season, making big saves time and time again, as we saw against the Rangers in a tight game. The breakaway off Brassard. When he's focused, there's not too many better in the game than Cory Schneider. He knows the importance of tonight. Yes, it's his former team. I think he's gotten over playing against them, but the juices always are flowing a little bit more when you play the Canucks. But more importantly, he understands they got to get something out of this Western swing, and the Canucks coming off a real good game last night against the Hawks. They're going to need Cory Schneider to be superb tonight, like we saw in some of these clips here when he's really on and very focused and compact.
We're ready to go here in Vancouver before the Devils take the long flight back. These teams faced each other, as Deb told you, 2 weeks ago. It was an ugly game at times. There were fights, more penalty minutes by the Devils than they had in any game in over a decade, but a happy ending on a Palmieri winner. Let's see what's served up tonight.
Daniel Sedin got his 900th point last night, and oh, by the way, he had a hat trick. His twin brother Henrik fed him on all 3 goals. 33-22, a common sight over the last 15 years here in Vancouver. Cory Schneider has seen plenty of them over the years, and the Devils saw plenty of them 2 weeks ago.
Played them last time, and they're 2 great players, and they had a big night last night, so we need to make sure that the guys that are on the ice with them are aware of them, and you know, we need to play well. When we don't have the puck against them, there's got to be a heavy responsibility, but it'd be nice if they're on the ice that we actually have the puck and make them defend.
Here's your stat of the night. Henrik Sedin has assisted on 32 of Daniel Sedin's last 38 goals. So the Devils will be well aware of where they are on the ice, like most teams are. We're ready to drop the puck here. Let's go to Steve Cangelosi and Ken Danico.
Thanks a lot, Deb. And yeah, Corey Schneider's aware of it too. The great debate in Vancouver used to be Luongo or Schneider. Today it is neither, although Schneider has enjoyed the return trips to Vancouver as a Devil. He's had 5 days between starts. And the opposing goalies just keep getting bigger. In Edmonton, New Jersey faced 6'5" Anders Nilsson. Tonight at 6'6" Jacob Markstrom, the Swedish netminder, in just his 3rd start, gives Ryan Miller the night off, but he's a good one.
Well, he's got so much potential. In fact, played very well last year in the American Hockey League, has shown flashes here in Florida, who they thought was going to be their #1 netminder. He covers a lot of net for sure, Steve, and we will see. This game should be awfully exciting and a little testy, as we talked about in the opening.
And if you were the Canucks, wouldn't you start out with the Sedin twins after what they did last night? Top line on for Vancouver, and that means Andy Green, Adam Larson on the ice with Travis Zajac, Sergei Kalinin, and Kyle Palmieri. First venture into the attacking zone for Vancouver is stopped by Corey Schneider. The lineups are brought to you by Infinity. And how about the Sedin twins last night, Kenny? 4 goals, 5 assists, milestone for Daniel. What a game.
I think these two guys have been unappreciated for far too long in the National Hockey League. They have had just spectacular careers, and last night they were superhuman. They were using each other like we've seen for so many years, and they combined for 9 points, and the difference makers last night in the 6-3 win against the Hawks. Devils are going to have to be ready and prepared every time they're on the ice.
Talking with Andy Green today, he said they know what they're going to do before they do it, and that's been the key for 15 years strong. Damon Severson tries to sweep the puck aside. On the forecheck here is Chris Higgins. Alex Burrows, number 14, digging for the puck here for Vancouver. Pinching in on the far side is Yannick Weber. Now Bo Horvat slowed up by the Devils. Under a bit of pressure here, but the puck settled down by Severson, and we've got our first penalty of the game.
I think it was just a high stick.
You are correct, sir. My apologies. And there is John Hines, his team suffering consecutive defeats in regulation for the first time since October 10th and 13th. Held to 20 shots in each loss at Calgary and Edmonton. He said his team didn't deserve to win the last 2 games.
Steve, not to interrupt you, but I see Derek Dorsett chirping at Bobby Farnham already here. And Dorsett gave him a little shot as he was going out to the point, so look for something brewing between these two out of the gate here.
And Dorsett sends Farnham flying, and there's a penalty coming up. Let's see if it's to both, Kenny.
I think it's just Dorsett. Bobby Farnham does an excellent job, does his exactly what he wanted. He wanted to draw a penalty against Derek Dorsett. We'll see right here. Dorsett holds him up. He kind of got a stick on him there, hurt him a little bit. Farnham finishes his check on Bartkowski, and what does Dorsett do? Knocks him down right here, and he takes a penalty.
So we'll watch the 3rd-ranked power play in the National Hockey League go to work. Eric Jelena is back in, and he's manning the point with Kyle Palmieri. Jelena fires. There's the big shot, and it's rifled just wide. Palmieri will punch this back in for New Jersey, and the puck lines around where Jacob Josephson. Cross-ice pass, picks up Palmieri, who shoots, save made by Markstrom. Rebound loose, and Jacob Markstrom settles it down.
Real good-looking power play early on here, Steve. Only 17 seconds gone. 2 glorious chances. Eric Jelena, you talked about his shot in the lineup after missing quite some time. There's the Palmieri blast. And Eric Jelena really got a lot of the one-timer that Markstrom made the big save on as well. So Devils moving the puck. They seem like they're ready to play a very intense, purposeful game here, and the puck movement was very good.
Here's Kyle Palmieri off the draw. Goes behind the net. Now gave it up on a backhand pass, and Alex Edler and the Canucks send it the length of the ice.
I want to go back to that penalty. I mean, that, you saw them chirping right off the face-off, Steve, and that's a smart play from Bobby Farnham. There's a time and place, whether it be scrap, whether it be get involved with Derek Dorsett, but he did his job, exactly what the Devils are looking for from Bobby Farnham, drawing a penalty. Let's see if they can capitalize.
Here's Zajac dropping it back. Palmieri looks for space. Now crosses up with Jelena. The Devils set up. Here's Palmieri at the circle. Beautiful move. Shot saved made by Markstrom, who holds on.
Kyle Palmieri's becoming awfully dangerous on the off wing. He gets the puck from the point as a point man, and he's made really nice plays. We saw it in Edmonton him scoring a very similar play where he was able to go upstairs, and Markstrom, who covers a lot of the net, has had to be real good here early on this penalty kill for the Vancouver Canucks.
1:03 left on the penalty against Derek Dorsett off the draw. Here's Severson changing personnel for the Devils as they work it across, and now Stempniak to 2-2 sweeps it across, and it's taken here by Severson. Adam Henrique comes out of the corner with it. They dish back to the point. Camilleri backhand pass, and Severson's return pass is out of the zone.
They were moving it pretty well, but one pass too many, and Mike Camilleri wasn't home on the return pass from David Severson. He was moving in. Severson threw it back to the point where nobody was there.
Picked up here by Camilleri as the Devils reset. Henrique to Camilleri, guides it back. Damon Severson shooting. That's redirected in front. 2-2 trying to find the handle. Markstrom covers up again.
Well, again, good job. And you see the determination around the net. Sometimes you think you're working hard. Well, the last two games, they weren't getting in the front net hard enough. What a beautiful tip from Jordan Tootoo down. Markstrom makes a save, and you see everybody battling and getting into the goal-scoring area, trying to look for a rebound here. And they know they're going to have to, Steve, to create chances. Haven't scored yet here, but it's been a good-looking power play. They'd like to get one.
Tanev will clear it away. Time for one more rush for the Devils. 15 seconds left on the interference penalty against Dorsett as they play it back for Damon Severson. Mike Camilleri on the puck here for New Jersey. Severson, outlet pass. Henrique banks it ahead and picks up Jordan Tootoo. Henrique lost control, taken away by Henrik Sedin. Out of the box is Dorsett, and penalty time is up. But here's Jordan Tootoo behind the net. Works it away from Edler. Got it back to John Merrill, now fighting for the loose puck and barreling his way through Jacob Josephson. Another penalty coming up.
I'm not sure. I guess this is going to Jacob Josephson for the Devils.
For tripping.
You got a trip on right there. Oh yeah, the defenseman Tanev, I believe that is. See Josephson. Oh boy, he's not trying to do anything except get around him, go for the puck, but that sticks down on the ice and it takes his feet from under him. Now the Devils on the penalty kill.
Josephson for tripping at 3:28. Canucks power play ranked 10th in the National Hockey League. And we've sung the praises of the Devils penalty kill lately. Killed 34 of 37 over the last 11 games to move into the top 10 in the National Hockey League. Zajac a big part of it. On with Giunta here and punches it in deep. Radim Vrbata back from injury. And on the power play here for Vancouver. Tanev drops it back, and Vrbata skates it into the Devils zone. Punched away by Henrique, trying to spring Stempniak, who couldn't get there. Tanev across. Sven Berchi now plays it across, and Vrbata into the Devils zone. Canucks look to set up, but they gave it away to Stempniak, who clears.
So far, so good. Devils giving the Canucks no time through the neutral zone, and they will create some turnovers right inside their blue line and clear that puck down the ice.
Firing in and firing it right back out is John Moore as Markstrom, with just 52 seconds left on what's so far an uneventful Canucks power play. Alex Edler will start up here for Vancouver. The Sedin twins are on. The pass back for Henrik Sedin, but he has to retreat. Henrik guides it back. And the Canucks with trouble just getting started here. Now Burrows makes his way into the Devils zone, and Daniel Sedin is on it. Bunched up along the near boards with brother Henrik. Yannick Weber for Daniel Sedin. Collected his 900th career point in last night's win versus Chicago. Much needed victory for a struggling Canucks side going into that game. Centering try for Burrows, got past him and taken away by O'Neill.
That was a real smart play from Lee Stempniak coming down lower. That was a wide open shot in the slot, and I think he just lifted the stick of the Canuck forward. That was a pass from one of the Sedins. Now, I might have gotten them mixed up at the time, Steve. That's where they're so dangerous. A foot from the boards, so tough to contain.
Adam Cracknell, one-handed shot goes barreling into the side of the net, and there's a holding penalty that's coming up. So after the successful kill by the Devils, as Josephson just came out of the box, now Adam Larsson's going to go.
Yeah, it's a real nice play from Adam Cracknell. You watch, he gets a step on Adam Larsson, and he's going to get a good opportunity cutting to the net. He's a big forward cutting the net on Cory Schneider. Adam Larsson, you'd have to consider that a good penalty in my estimation. Cracknell's going to get a good opportunity there. Larsson felt the need to haul him down. Another challenging PK for the Devils. 2 in a row here early on.
And now they get the Sedin twins from the start. Daniel plays it across. Yannick Weber's shot. Shanked that, but it's collected here by Henrik, who guides it back to the point. Now the Canucks reset. Alex Edler to the near side, where Weber is on the puck for Vancouver. Here's Yannick Weber holding the ex-Montreal Canadian behind the net. Burrows for Henrik Sedin. They're working on the perimeter. Pass in front, deflected away by Josephson. Henrik Sedin on the puck again for Vancouver. Waits patiently. Inches closer. His pass intercepted by Josephson, and he darts back the other way.
Well, just as patient as Henrik Sedin is with his passing, and one of the best in the game at finding open men, the Devils stayed patient. They didn't overcommit. You make the move. He's waiting for you to make that first move. Devils stayed home, and Josephson able to pick off that pass from Henrik Sedin.
Here's Bo Horvat making his way across. The return pass from Jared McCann. Rookie who scored 6 times already for the Canucks this season, but the Devils effectively work it out of the zone again. And played across here for Berchi. 45 seconds to go on the second Canucks power play tonight. They work it ahead. Berchi over the line. Horvat's pass deflected away. But here's Vrbata coming in. He'll go wide on John Merrill. Circles the net and drops it back. Tanev on the puck for the Canucks. For Berchi shooting, and a save made. That's Vrbata on the one-timer, but Schneider with the save.
And the best look of this power play, certainly the Canucks gain the zone with speed through the neutral zone. Then they set up Vrbata for the one-timer. He can really bring it, and Cory Schneider on the top of his crease able to make the save and cover up as the Canuck was right on the doorstep for the rebound.
27 seconds left in the Devils penalty kill. Zajac and Gionta. Watch Henrik Sedin win the draw back. Here's Daniel at the circle shooting. Screen in front, and somehow with Burrows providing the perfect screen, Schneider makes the stop.
That's where you can expect Burrows right in the crease area, screening the goaltender, and Daniel Sedin wastes no time and takes the quick shot. Cory Schneider with the save. They got to make sure you got to try to box out Burrows. He really disrupts goaltenders in front. You got to try to box him out. The best of your capabilities, establish position first in front of the net.
Here's Weber on the puck for Vancouver. Daniel Sedin works it down low. Brother Henrik tries to shake away from John Moore. Played back for Weber, and a shot that's blocked away in front.
I think that puck hit the post, Steve. That was a blast from Weber. I think it was redirected, might have hit iron.
Taken here by the Canucks. Another successful penalty kill for the Devils. Vancouver power play is 0 for 2 with 2 shots. Zhelinov blocks a shot in front, and here's Jacob Josephson off to the races for New Jersey. He'll go wide on Edler, now puts the brakes on. Tried to cycle it in for Zhelinov, who didn't see it, and Henrik Sedin tries to lift it away. Deflects out of play, and will step aside here in Vancouver with 11:53 to go. First period, and no score.
Here's the shot I was talking about on the power play. Tanev with the blast from the point. And you see that hits iron with Burrows all over. Cory Schneider screening him. No way for him to see that puck. That was going to break. That hits the outside of the post. Of the left post. The Devils successful in their first 2 kills, which were in succession. 4 minutes pretty well straight there. Steve, we talked about the Devils needing to be more disciplined, but both those penalties, things are going to happen, and Adam Larsson happened to get flat-footed a little bit, and a penalty you consider was a good one because Cracknell was going to have a glorious scoring opportunity, so you got to kill them. They've done that so far with the first 2, but don't want to play with fire, take too many more if they can help it.
Well, that's a pattern that John Hines wants to see end. They took 6 minors in the loss to Edmonton. Spiza tries to control. Puck taken here by Stefan Matteau. And that pass coming too hard for Jordan Tootoo to do anything with. Settled down here by the Canucks. Played 8.5 minutes in the opening period. Glad you've joined us on this Sunday night on MSG. Conclusion of the Western Canadian road trip for the Devils. They're looking for their first points on this trip as Jelena has this behind the net. He's in for David Schlemko, who picked up a lower body injury. He's missing his first game of the season. Taken here by Jelena. His shot saved, made by Markstrom on the wrister.
Oh my, Eric Jelena, I really like the way he jumped in the play. No hesitation. Something he's talked about, and I've actually had chats with him saying, you know, he's been a little tentative when he's in the lineup, didn't want to make mistakes, but there, no hesitation. He's got to use that great skating ability. Gets himself a real nice return pass from Jordan Tutu. He's right in the slot. You know, he doesn't get the shot exactly where he wanted to. He put it right in the midsection of Markov, but good opportunity. And once he gets more repetitions and gets those chances and puts himself in position, we're going to see Eric Jelena bring some offense. I've liked what he's done early on here after missing so much time. It's tough at times, Steve.
Taken here by John Moore, back at the point for the Devils. That pass for Adam Henrique, taken away by Adam Cracknell, the 30-year-old right wing, and now the Canucks look to go back the other way. Derek Dorsett bearing down on Severson, had him lined up. Now Brandon Prust plays it back in deep for the Canucks. Dorsett is hit, puck taken away. Moore's pass, though, is intercepted, and Prust with a backhander that's taken away. And Stempniak goes back the other way for the Devils. They're offside here with Camilleri.
Larry, see Adam Henrique, 8 goals on the year. Leads this team. He had 4 shots last game and over 20 minutes of ice time. A lot of that shorthanded. And if they're going to get more offense and more chances, you don't want to see him, the team shorthanded that much, him using all that ice time. But if the Devils are going to get out of this 2-game losing streak, you rely on your big guys. You rely on your clutch guys. Adam Henrique has scored a lot of clutch goals, and they need him to bring some offense tonight.
Taken here by the Canucks. McCann tries to punch it away. Berchi tied up along the near boards and now stripped away here by Kyle Palmieri. He continues on, played it across, and now Andy Green fires into the corner, and the Canucks with Berchi trying to pick up Radim Vrbata. See the pass broken up by the Devils. Kicked out here by Sergei Kalinin. He's over the Vancouver line, but it's taken back by Vrbata. Better than midway through period 1. Sajak punches this in for the Devils, and now Kalinin on the forecheck delivers a hit on Matt Bartkowski. O'Neill battling for the puck in the corner for the Devils, but it comes across where Jannik Hansen plays it, and now Henrik Sedin. Centering try, gloved by Corey Schneider, has to reach out to cover this one, and with that, we'll step aside again. At Rogers Arena in Vancouver, no score.
This for the New Jersey Lottery Intermission Report, the last of this 3-game road trip. We'll go one-on-one with John Moore, plus highlights and analysis from Kenny and Steve. It's all coming up on the New Jersey Lottery Intermission Report. See you then, guys.
Thanks a lot, Deb. Look forward to it. And the Sedin twins are on now against Adam Henrique's line. 5 shots for the Canucks, 4 for the Devils so far. And off the draw, it's 1 back by Henrique. Devils have won so far 10 of the first 14 face-offs in the game as this is played back. Daniel Sedin, we mentioned the milestone 900th point. He becomes just the 5th Swedish-born player to reach that mark. His brother is one of the 3. So is Mats Sundin, Daniel Alfredsson, and Nicklas Lidstrom. Played across and controlled here by Andy Green. There's Adam Larsson on the move for the Devils. Steered in off the stick of Mike Camilleri, and Markstrom plays it away, and this should be a delay of game penalty against the Vancouver Canucks.
It looks exactly to be the case here, Kanji, as Devils going to get another opportunity. I really like the way they move the puck in the first power play. That first goal tonight is so important for the Devils. It seems to really dictate the way they play, and in return, as well as the way the other team's able to play from the lead or from behind. When a team's playing from behind, you have a tendency to try to do too much. And the Devils have played from behind, playing catch-up. They just haven't found the rhythm the last 2 games. This is an important power play. They'd love to get the lead here.
Palmieri and Jelena, the point man once again. Bo Horvat and Zajac in the circle, and it's Travis Zajac who wins the draw. Jacob Josephson plays it back. Palmieri fakes the shot, loads the gun for Jelena, and that shot blocked by Higgins. He's hurting, and the Canucks get a clear.
That takes courage there to get in front of an Eric Jelena one-timer. Chris Higgins goes very gingerly off the ice, but he showed a lot of courage. Beautiful block by him and sacrificing his body.
Devils break out quickly. Zajac winds it around. Puck picked up in the corner by Kalinin. Travis Zajac gets it away from Dan Hamhuis. Played back. Now Jelena guides it across, and Palmieri dishes to the half board. That's Jacob Josephson's office. Taken here and lifted away by Cracknell on the penalty kill.
Yeah, good job by Cracknell. Good position, good stick. Kalinin, they tried that one-touch pass that we've seen the Devils be successful at before on the power play to Travis Zajac, but Cracknell, great position, no opportunity for the Devs.
Devils bump into each other. Look out, Stempniak sees the dangerous Jannik Hansen moving forward. Comes loose. Horvat nearly had a handle on it, but the Devils poke it away, and now Jordan 2-2 back the other way. 47 seconds to go in the New Jersey power play. Camilleri tries to dig it loose, and Horvat gets it out of the zone.
Well, you saw that rolling puck come back to Corey Schneider and Damon Severson. Boy, that scares you from up here. You think it might roll off the stick and into the empty net.
Stempniak at center. Can't control the puck cleanly. Now able to regather. Lost control, and it's cleared by Hamhuis. 16 seconds go. Time for another rush here for the Devils as they wind it around to the stick of Mike Camilleri. Severson across. John Merrill picks up Steven Gionta. Deflects off his stick. He bumps with Tanev. Gionta dished it in Camilleri's direction. Puck deflects off the linesman. And with penalty time up, the team's back to 5-on-5 as John Moore plays it ahead for New Jersey. Devils power play 0 for 2. Spiza hit by Bobby Farnham. Last game these teams played 2 weeks ago was not a thing of beauty. There were 2 fights, more penalty minutes than any Devils team had since 2002. But in the end, a 4-3 overtime win for New Jersey.
Well, it depends who you're asking if that's a thing of beauty. I kind of enjoyed that kind of hockey. A little old school.
in the eye of the beholder. Gionta picks it up in the corner, and check that, Brian O'Neill plays it back. Here's Gionta from the sharp angle. He gave it a go. Now Green with a shot is saved by Markstrom. Gionta knocked down behind the Canucks net. Referee right there, and we play on as Bartkowski skates it away. Here's Matt Bartkowski to Henrik Sedin. Canucks defenseman sees it knocked away by Green, who has it for New Jersey. Adam Larson punches this ahead, and here's Stefan Matteau. Able to gain the zone for the Devils and work it in deep. Stempniak battles along the near boards. Canucks able to converge on Matteau now. Burrows there to work it loose. Chris Tanev will play it ahead for Higgins. And here's Horvat on the move for Vancouver. Bo Horvat goes wide. Now tries the power move. John Moore stayed with him every step. Moore to the stick of Matteau. Under 5 minutes to go in the opening period of a scoreless game. Canucks with a rarity. They're playing home games on back-to-back nights, and in this building yesterday scored 6 times to beat Chicago. Quick shot by Dorsett is saved by Corey Schneider. We'll step aside here in Vancouver.
All right, guys, I want to show you a couple of shifts ago here. Look at the gap control from Adam Henrique and Adam Larson. Just nowhere to go. Stop her right there, guys. Look, stick in front for Andy. Clear it right in this area. There's just nowhere for the Canucks to make a play. Okay, roll it. You see right there as they stand up, nowhere to go. Puck's poked away with nice stick position from Green, and Kalinin and his line mates go the other way. So important to keep that gap closed. The opposition can't get any speed through the neutral zone. That was done to perfection from Larson and Green. As far as standing up, sticks in the right position, and Canucks turn the puck over at the offensive blue line.
That's the defense tandem on now, Kenny. Green and Larson under pressure in the corner.
is Jacob Josephson. New look line mates for him tonight. Jordan Tutu's one of them, and he's on the puck as he backhands this in. Bobby Farnham is with this line as well. Big hit taken there, Tutu. And back the other way, Brandon Crust sees the puck defended away by Eric Jelinek. Spiza back in his own end for Vancouver. Fans wanted a penalty call against Eric Jelinek, who broke up that last play. Bartkowski lost control of the puck. Taken in the corner, Bartkowski sends it towards goal, sticked aside by Schneider. Poked loose by Merrill, and now Jelinek on the far side. Collected here by John Merrill. Two Canucks converge on him in the corner. Stepniak trying to get it out of the zone, but it's taken back here by Berchi. His pass intercepted, and Henrique will play it across. Stepniak will guide it in, and the Devils use the opportunity to change. Spiza on the puck here for Vancouver. Berchi makes his way to center. He'll dump in, and the Canucks change. Henrik Sedin bearing down here on John Moore. Puck collected instead by the Devils, and Severson's got it. They work it ahead for Kyle Palmieri. Pass across, Kalinin able to pick up Zajac. His shot blocked away in front. Still loose, poked free by the Canucks, and back the other way. Tanev will send Hansen on his way. Jannik Hansen with the pass intercepted by Zajac. Moore in his own end. Gets it away from the Danish-born winger Hansen. He had 2 points himself last night in that big night for the Sedin twins, playing on the top line. He's back with them tonight. They weren't about to break that up. Zajac continues on here for the Devils. Late in the first period, Tanev has Travis Zajac tied up. Zajac continues on. Work the puck free to O'Neill, and this puck deflects out of play. Time now for the Cadillac trivia question here in Vancouver. Who are the last two brothers to be on the same Stanley Cup winning team? The Sedins are hoping to experience that someday in the National Hockey League. Got to the final several years ago, lost Game 7 at home against Boston.
So close. Up 3 games to 2. And was it 3-1, Steve? I'm not, if my memory serves me right. I know it was 3-2, but it might have been even 3-1. I can't remember that.
Off the draw, I'm trying to remember myself, as Green takes the puck. He's got it and guides it off the backboard. Picked up here by Weber.
But nonetheless, Canucks had a terrific chance. You always think you're going to get another opportunity shortly thereafter, and sometimes that doesn't materialize. They would consider that a missed opportunity probably, because they had an excellent team and had Boston on the ropes in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Last year got back to the playoffs after missing under John Tortorella. Got to the postseason under Willie Desjardins. 48 wins, 101 points, and then the disappointing loss to Calgary in the opening round of the playoffs. Camilleri for Henrique, and that's fought off by the goaltender Markstrom. Puck is still loose. Henrique digging at it. No whistle yet, and now the play is snuffed out. Jacob Markstrom holding his ground.
Well, there you see again the determination that might have been missing somewhat the last couple of games. No, they don't score, but they get the quick shot from Henrique there, and then you see everybody converge to the front of the Vancouver net. Right there, no hesitation. Stempniak. Adam Henrique follows up his shot. There's Camilleri knocking over 10 of the defensemen for the Canucks. And the big goaltender, Markstrom, covers up. But the determination, Steve, you can see it. There's a little bit more so far in this first period in the last couple of games in Edmonton and Calgary.
7 shots for New Jersey in this opening period with 1:54 to go. Henrique on the offensive zone faceoff. John Hines saying his team had to be much sharper tonight in the offensive end of the ice, as Merrill has the puck, plays it behind the net. Camilleri fought off by Lucas Spiza. The scramble for the loose puck. This came right back to Markstrom, and Henrique lets him know he was there. Well, we've seen the Devils power play twice tonight. Kyle Palmieri, in the 198 games he played with the Ducks, he had 7 power play goals. 19 games into his Devils career, Dano, 4 power play goals. He was telling me today he was lucky to be second wave power play in Anaheim. And all the time he was with the Ducks, maybe 3 to 4 times, did he get to play the point, and he's played that role so well with this Devils team with the man advantage. Completely different experience.
Become somewhat of a specialist for the Devils, and we talked about it, maybe not the opportunity, and I'm with their depth that they had up front.
You know who's on the first wave out there? Perry and Getzlov, and then the rest you fill out the sheet. Given away, taken here by Moore. He looks for a lane, opts to play it off the backboard where Zajac is on the puck. Moore guides it across. Severson got a shot away. That deflects out of play with 1:16 to go.
Well, I've just really liked, I guess I knew he was a good skater. I didn't know his burst. We've seen him pull away from defensemen. He's got that really nice patent move he's used on the power play off the left point where he goes to the half wall and he cuts in, Steve, on the defenseman with a nice shifty little move with the hands and gets a good shot off. We saw him score the only goal against the Oilers the other night, and another good opportunity in similar fashion tonight on the power play.
Off the draw, scramble for the loose puck, punched away by the Canucks, but not out of the zone. Dan Hamhuis gets away from Bobby Farnham, and the Canucks get the puck out to center. Here's Adam Larson off 2-2 stick and right back in the Canucks end. Daniel Sedin works it across. Hansen races into the double zone to get on the loose puck and plays it to Henrik Sedin. He's converged on quickly by Josephson. Final minute, period 1, scoreless game at Rogers Arena in Vancouver. Devils get a clear. Is it enough for an icing call? No, it's waved off as Hamhuis is back to play it.
He was certainly milking it. The defenseman Hamhuis trying to get the refs to bite and have that puck icing, but not enough steam on it.
Bartkowski on the puck here for the Canucks. Came back home last night after a 1-4-2 road trip. One of their least productive road trips in 25 years. Stempniak works it across. Here's Camilleri. 11 seconds for the Devils to do something with this. He opts to dump in instead. Stempniak on the forecheck. And the final seconds will tick away as Henrique sent it towards goal. And Markstrom sees the green light go on. And with that, the first period comes to an end. Deb with Andy Green on the first intermission report next.
The New Jersey Devils Intermission Report is presented by the New Jersey Lottery. Remember, anything can happen in Jersey.
Did you know bobbleheads make their return to the Rock this season? Be one of the first 10,000 fans in attendance at the Devils Avalanche game on December 1st and receive an Adam Henrique bobblehead courtesy of MSG Plus. To purchase tickets, visit NewJerseyDevils.com/bobbleheads. First period highlights. No goals, plenty of action. Ken Daneyko, take it away.
Well, the Devils did have some chances. Had 9 shots on goal. And there you see, right at the start of this hockey game, Derek Dorsett tries to engage Bobby Farnham. We expected some testiness in this game from the last time these two teams met, but Bobby Farnham does a good job. Draws a penalty there for the Devils. They had some good looks. Unable to score. Now the Canucks in the power play. That's Verbata with the blast, and Corey Schneider makes the save. There you see Burrows right in front. Again, he tips that puck a little bit. And again, Schneider able to get to that one and cover up, and that one, Tanev ripped one off the outside of the post. Probably the best chance for the Vancouver Canucks, and here you see Andy Green come in from the point. Devils not scoring a lot the last couple of games. You want your D jumping in. I thought they did a good job of that. That was Andy Green. Jelena did it as well, had a good chance in the slot as well. And here's the determination around that. A couple of whacks at it. Markstrom had to make a couple of good saves. Devils would have liked to gotten a goal that period, Steve, but walk before you can run. They took steps in the right direction. You saw the determination, in my estimation anyway, was much better this period than the last 6.
Corey Schneider has stopped all 6 shots the Canucks have put on him, and stopping every shot on Friday night for the Albany Devils is our good friend, 34-year-old Jan Denis. And how about the Albany Devils? With Denis 8-2-3 in goal, that 1.98 goals against average is now 6th best in the AHL. Second shutout of the season came Friday versus Springfield, 30 saves. Good to see him doing well. He struggled in the preseason when he was here with the big club.
Well, not only is he playing terrific hockey and You see that record from Albany. The Devils doing a real good job in the AHL right now. He's got a great haircut. I like that. So,
you know the stylist.
He's got that going for him, but as well as a superb, sparkling goals against average that you just mentioned.
Okay, second period is ready to go, and we're scoreless here in Vancouver. Devils looking for a happy ending to this road trip. The Sedins are out to start period number 2. Henrik centers Daniel and Jannik Hansen. Zajac line starts the second period for the Devils. No carryover penalty time. And we're underway. Adam Larson winds it around the boards. Palmieri pinned against the boards by defenseman Alex Edler. And the Devils work it away. Back to give chase is Tanev icing against New Jersey. Good to see Andy Green chatting with Deb between periods. I talked about him today about facing the Sedins. You can relate to this, Kenny. What he said was you have to show patience. Don't ever lunge at them. They react well to that. They held the Sedin Twins, remember, without a point in that last game 2 weeks ago. That's not an easy thing to do.
Well, we saw some of that in the first period. We talked about it on the penalty kill where they did stay patient and outweighed them. The Sedins are waiting for you to make that first move. They're just such smart hockey players and know exactly when to pass, even if you take that one step.
Here's Zajac on the puck, guides it back to the point. Green with a shot, it went wide. Centering try by Kalinin is broken up at the side of the net. Kyle Palmieri hit by Edler, who takes the puck away, and Palmieri comes right back at him to seal him off and get it back for New Jersey. Plays it across, picks up Larson. His shot is fired wide. Palmieri on the near boards. Able to take it off the boards. Chopped that by Jannik Hansen. Puck still loose. Cavallari with a shot, and it's blocked in front by Tanev. Still loose. Controlled here by the Devils. It comes to Cavallari, and he scores! Oh, what a play that would just never end, it seemed. And Mike Cavallari with a big finish to give the Devils the lead.
This all was set up from the hard work from Kyle Palmieri. He just didn't quit, stayed with the puck with the Canuck defenseman draped all over him. He went to the ice. You see, watch right here, spins away from Edler, and he keeps his feet moving, pulled down there. But see, he takes the second and third effort, whacks that puck to keep it alive. It caroms all over the place, bouncing around, comes right out to Mike Cavallari, and he finishes it off as Markstrom is down. And he goes between the legs to give the Devils a 1-0 lead. Great shift by the Zajac, Palmieri, Cavallari line. The end result, Devils 1-0.
The Canucks now look to answer back in the Devils' end. Josephson under pressure, put it in front of his own goal. Severson ready for it, and now O'Neill punches it away. Bobby Farnham bursts into the Canucks' end, and it's defended well by Vancouver. Hamhuis plays it ahead in the direction of Chris Higgins. And now Josephson. Fans on a shot, and the puck taken away by Burrows and friends. Hamhuis cross-ice pass, and here's Burrows at center. Devils have the lead. Burrows works it behind goal. Here's Higgins, who's checked by Severson. Puck jarred loose. Horvat tries to come away with it. He's defended well by Damon Severson, but the puck taken here by Spiza, who plays it back in. Luka Spiza guides it across. Bartkowski on the puck for Vancouver. Devils pinned in a bit here after the goal, and the shot blocked. Another try. Save made by Schneider, and the rebound swept away by Severson. New Jersey needs a change, though. Higgins drops it back to the point. Spiza for Bartkowski. Off a skate in front. Burrows again, that net front presence, and the Devils content here to ice the puck.
Oh, good response from the Vancouver Canucks after giving up the opening goal. All kinds of pressure in the Devils' zone. Here's Kyle Palmieri. Oh, look, he just doesn't stop moving the feet. Determination strips the puck from Edler right there. Finds the open defenseman. I mean, this is just a terrific, hard-working shift from Kyle Palmieri. Falls down, able to continue. Gets a whack at that puck to keep it alive. And then finally, it's him who's up on his skates. Spins around and fires that puck toward the net. Comes right to Cavallari. What a shift for Kyle Palmieri there.
He gets the primary assist on Cavallari's 7th of the year. Sergei Kalinin, the other assist at 105. Stepniak lost the puck, and McCann dishes across where it's taken here by Tanev. Picked up at center ice. Here's Baertschi motoring in for Vancouver, looking for Bravada at the far post, and that just missed. Now Tanev for Edler, and he fires one wide. Surge here by Vancouver after conceding the first goal.
Now Mike Camilleri going to the penalty box for a hooking call. He doesn't seem too happy about it.
He's just collected his 19th point in 20 games to start the season. And now his team on the defensive again. Devils will be shorthanded for a third time.
Well, we'll take a look at the hooking call. Was before on McCann right there in front of the Devils net. It was pretty subtle. That's why Mike Camilleri wasn't too happy about it.
Shorthanded, the Devils control off the faceoff, and Zajac winds it around the board. Camilleri, or rather check that, Henrique with Camilleri in the box, waiting for it, and it's picked up here by Vancouver. Henrik Sedin, the captain of the Canucks, backhands it in, controlled by Schneider. Tries to wind it out of the zone. Weber was waiting for it. Now Edler punches it in deep. Burrows keeps the puck moving, and Henrik Sedin as the Canucks set up on the power play. Gives to brother Daniel. Return pass. Daniel Sedin shot, and a stop made by Schneider. Collected again by Vancouver and worked behind the net. It winds around for Henrik Sedin once again. Return pass from Burrows. Henrik plays it, redirected in front by Daniel Sedin again, and that just missed. Chances here for the Canucks on the man advantage. A minute to go on this power play. Sedin, the return pass for the Canucks captain. He holds. Drops it back. Weber's shot is fired wide and hammered out of the zone by Larson. Period of the long change, and the Devils able to change all four. Gianta comes on with Stempniak to continue the kill. Moore and Merrill, the defense tandem now, as Baertschi motors in, winds it around where Horvat's waiting for it. Return pass for Baertschi. He's tied up on Merrill behind the net. It comes loose for Stempniak, who clears.
Real good job in a PK. Steve, I want to correct the Kalinin assist, and that's not your fault. It's from the officials, because that was Travis Zajac on the ice, and I know he's the guy that's going to get that assist. That line did a good job. So I don't think it was Kalinin. They got it mixed up just to make that point.
All right, we'll wait for the correction then, surely. Here's McCann continuing, and that shot doesn't go. Gianta will fire it away, and another big kill for the Devils.
Some good chances, too. The Sedins, you saw them score last night from that half wall in the redirection tip. Brother to brother, Devils escaped a couple of good chances from that vantage point as well.
Now even strength. McCann delivers a check in the corner for Josephson. Work free by Tutu. Here's Camilleri, who dishes back to the point where Green sends it behind the net. Josephson crosses up with Tutu. Swept away from him, and Dorsett able to get it out to center. Played better than 5.5 minutes here in period 2. Devils have a 1-0 lead on the Canucks. Off Matteau's stick to the goaltender Markstrom. Sent back into the corner by Gianta. Here's Stefan Matteau for Gianta, who fired it wide. Picked up here by Jelena. His wrister got to goal. Markstrom made the save. Squirts loose. Jelena trying to hold the zone, and he does. Gianta will get on this. Puck comes loose. Bobby Farnham tries to throw it in front on a backhand pass. Broken up. Still loose at the side of the net. And now the whistle as Farnham is knocked down.
Well, we got Dorsett and Stefan Matteau shoving, as well as Farnham behind the net, and Prust. The big boys are out there. And that was a real good shift from the Devils line there. Gianta, Matteau, and Farnham will be back. RoboCam replay is brought to you by the new Buick. Buick, your kind of luxury. It's the first goal of this hockey game, the only goal. Devils lead 1-0, and great work and effort from Kyle Palmieri most of this shift, as well as Zajac, and Mike Camilleri is the beneficiary as the puck squirts loose out to him in front, and he puts it past a sprawling Markstrom. That's your Buick RoboCam replay. Devils lead 1-0 here.
And we've confirmed that Kalinin was not on the ice for the goal, so surely that assist will change. Good pickup.
I thought I was losing my mind. I'm going, I did not see a left-handed shot. I believed it was Travis, but I'm sure they will correct that eventually, the scoreboard.
End of a long road trip. We all might be there at some point tonight. Take it here. The face-off won cleanly by Zajac, and it gets by John Merrill. Devils are out shooting the Canucks 13-9. It's been a much better effort so far tonight. And from the most lopsided loss of the season in Edmonton, that's shot by Zajac, blocked away. Palmieri guides it back. Gelinas with a shot.
That dinged the crossbar as well. Oh my, that was a blast.
That's one on each side. Palmieri hit by Weber. Hamhuis takes the puck. Can't get it out of the zone as Merrill was able to hold it. And now the Canucks work it back the other way. Horvat trying to get on the bouncing puck. He could not. Here's Kalinin darting around Higgins. Couldn't do the same against Vrbata. Radim Vrbata with the strip. Waits for some reinforcements. Now McCann backs it out of midair. We play on as Gelinas settles it down. Big Sergei Kalinin at center. Devils in the midst of a change. Palmieri had to get off the ice. Spiza took the loose puck, got only so far with it. Now Stempniak gathers up. Darts back the other way for the Devils.
Yeah, John Merrill got caught a little flat-footed on Spiza, who's coming full tilt. And good job by Eric Gelinas to come across and support his defense partner and knock the puck out of his zone.
Here's Vrbata picking up Baertschi, who lost his edge. Devils take the puck back, and now Severson, long pass in the direction of Camilleri, is broken up. Here's Baertschi. He scored in the last meeting against the Devils 2 weeks ago. He's just thrown to the ice by John Moore. Comes back towards Edler, and a shot that's blocked away. Camilleri, the goal scorer for the Devils, guides it across. Henrique gave it away. Oh, the pass for Hansen taken back by Adam Henrique.
Oh, that was close. Daniel Sedin was wide open all alone in front where that pass was going. And
Green on the puck for the Devils. Goes wide around Tanev, and the Devils captain continues on. Sedin put the pass on Andy Green's stick, and he's able to hold the zone for New Jersey. Guides it back. Hansen picks off that pass, and here come the Canucks back the other way. Daniel Sedin will dump in. Picked up here by Hansen. Waits, shoots. It's stopped by Schneider. Sedin works it back. Daniel, that is to Henrik, and now Hansen's shot is gloved down by Corey Schneider.
Now Devils get running around a little bit. They got to be careful of the turnovers. They've recovered well. And there's that puck. I think Markstrom got a piece of it. I want to look at it one more time right here. Bing, and yes, it hit just the tip of the bar as well, Steve. Off the glove, and there's Adam Henrique. That was originally on a turnover. And you saw Daniel sneaking in behind, Daniel Sedin that is, and Henrique just picked that pass off. So got to be very careful, especially against that line, to get the puck out. They're so good with their sticks at batting pucks out of midair.
Hamhuis darts behind his own net. The outlet pass here for Adam Cracknell, who sends it into the Devils zone. A penalty against New Jersey as Merrill makes the touch, and it's a hook.
Jacob Joseph is going to get a hooking call as he was trying to hold up on the dump in, and some more chirping. Now it's between 2-2 and Derek Dorsett. There's Joseph with his second minor of the game, Steve. And this is one he's just got to let up. This is on Cracknell. He's a big, strong guy, and he keeps his feet moving. He draws that penalty. And once he dumps that puck in, you have to release completely, because you know they will call that every time. And that's something Jacob Joseph has to be careful of. Because that's one area from the penalty standpoint they just don't let go, Steve. Any little tug, hold up, hook, you're going to get called.
Jacob Josephson hooking at 8:50. This is the Canucks' fourth power play tonight. Zajac wins the draw, and Green sends this the length of the ice.
The Devils were pretty good in the face-off circle in the first period. I believe 14-9, Steve. As Travis Zajac wins a big one there.
Edler will drop this back. Henrik Sedin works it ahead, and Alex Burrows is over the line. His pass back for Henrik Sedin, broken up by Green. Now Larson under some pressure. Green continues the puck battle, can't get it out of the zone as it's worked across. Edler's shot blocked by a double stick, loose at the side of the net. Oh, Schneider with a big stop at the side of goal as he denies Daniel Sedin. Burrows tied up, taken here by Henrik Sedin. Canucks captain back for Weber. And they work it across. Here's Edler for Weber. Henrik Sedin has it at the circle. Inches closer. Redirected and a big stop again. The blocker by Corey Schneider. Daniel Sedin denied again. Another shot that doesn't get through. Daniel Sedin able to get to the puck and control again for Vancouver. Brother Henrik waiting for the pass. Takes it off the boards. Crosses up with Daniel. Daniel Sedin has it. His shot blocked away by Green. Still loose, not out of the zone. Collected again by Weber. 37 seconds left in the man advantage. Henrique can't find the handle, but Zajac does and sends it the length of the ice.
Great work by those four guys. Henrique, Zajac up front. Larson, Green on the point. They had a couple opportunities to clear. Couldn't, but they stayed in good position and finally get the puck out. As the Sedin twins had a couple of good chances again.
Ravana fires in. Moore and Merrill come on to continue the kill. Steven Gianta and Stempniak are the forwards on for the Devils now. 8 seconds left in the man advantage. Gianta storms in on Tanev. Stempniak able to take the puck away. Lee Stempniak will guide it back. Penalty time is up as Josephson's out of the box. Canucks power play now is 0 for 4. Even strength at Stempniak on the puck. His pass intercepted by McCann, and he darts back the other way for Vancouver. 19-year-old Jared McCann sealed off by Jelena. Pass by Josephson intercepted, and Hamhuis punches this ahead. Brandon Trust on the puck for Vancouver. Works it across. Camilleri got a piece of that pass as it's sent back in. Cracknell back to Spiza at the point. His shot saved made by Schneider and taken away by Kyle Palmieri. Palmieri trying to beat his man Bartkowski. One hands it toward the side of the net.
He just doesn't stop those feet from moving, doesn't he?
Here come the Canucks back the other way. Trust looking for Cracknell, and Camilleri got back to bring that
just
up.
in time. Great back check from Mike Camilleri as he was almost late to get there, but recognized Cracknell wide open, and he's able to deflect that pass, so that's a real good scoring area for Adam Cracknell.
Zajac punches it off the boards. He was looking to send Kalinin in alone, but broken up by Vancouver. Under 8 minutes left, second period. Devils have a 1-0 lead on Camilleri's 7th of the season. This is icing against Vancouver.
Well, you think Corey Schneider's seen this play when he played for the Vancouver Canucks. There's the first real good chance from Daniel Sedin. Right in front, Corey Schneider's able to get over, and he's down and out with some help from Adam Henrique. Puck's kicked to the corner. This is the play, set play I'm talking about. The patent play, we saw it last night against the Hawks, and again there, we've seen it a couple times tonight, and I'm sure Corey Schneider's seen it once or twice in practice when he was a Vancouver Canuck, which might give him a little bit of advantage with that play.
Weber sends it towards goal. It just seems like Henrik knows exactly where Daniel is going to be for that redirection. It's remarkable watching them. This is Kalinin, who just takes the puck away from Hamhuis. Has to navigate one of the officials and continues on. Drop back to the point where Larson plays it for Green. Alex Burrows worked the puck loose, and he'll send Weber on his way. Schneider steers it for Adam Larson. Here's Andy Green on the puck. Pass for Kalinin. Net by the Canucks at center. Henrik Sedin is slowed up by Brian O'Neill as the Devils take the puck back. They wind it around. Got by Henrik Sedin, and it comes out the center where Tanev plays it across. Edler able to pick up Henrik Sedin. Drops it for brother Daniel, and broken up by Gianta. Scooting in here on a loose puck is Stefan Matteau. Goes backhand, and a stop made by Markstrom, but a penalty coming up. Devils stay with it. Corey Schneider to the bench. Pass intercepted. And it's a holding call against Vancouver. We'll set up a Devils power play when we come back.
Our $1 Million Replay is brought to you by the New Jersey Lottery. Remember, anything can happen in New Jersey. In Jersey, shall I say. And here it is, the $1 Million Replay. Matteau comes from the bench, picks up a loose puck, goes in on the partial breakaway, tries to cut in. And right here, you're going to see the slash from Alex Edler, just enough to derail Matteau on a good scoring opportunity. He's tried to pull that puck to his backhand, Steve. That is $1 million replay if I've ever seen one. Now the Devils go on the power play, and they would love nothing more than to get that cushion 2-goal lead.
Edler for slashing at 13:30. Zajac to take the draw. Won back by New Jersey and controlled by Kyle Palmieri. Opts to play it off the boards and send it to Jacob Josephson. Gelinas tries to hold it in, but it's blocked away. Palmieri was stating, even though the numbers haven't been there for Jacob Josephson, this power play, that again, third ranked in the NHL coming into tonight, it all goes through Josephson on the half board, and he's been such a big part of its success. Let's see what they do here as Schneider holds.
Well, there I thought they made a little too long of a stretch pass, Steve. When they have success, they come through the neutral zone together, and they kind of made a hope pass there, easy for the Canucks to defend.
Palmieri takes it at the point. Devils look to set up now. He's bothered by Hansen. Look out. And Palmieri at the line, and they're going to call this in and out offside. Jacob Josephson is looking for that elusive first goal. There's only one other forward in the National Hockey League with more shots than Josephson who hasn't scored a goal. That's Jason Pominville in Minnesota, who's taken 40. He's been coming close. You sense it's there for him consistently. Each game seems like there's at least one golden chance for Jacob Josephson.
Well, for Jacob's sake and the Devils, you hope it comes sooner than later, but you know, sometimes you go through those droughts, and I'm sure that when that first one comes, you'll see more after that.
Look out. Hansen gets to the puck. Severson back to defend him, and it's poke checked away by Corey Schneider. But there's a penalty coming up. It's a cross check.
Yeah, David Severson got on the wrong side of Jannik Hansen, and he's got some speed. He shows a burst right here. The puck just came funny off the boards, but I like what David Severson did. He doesn't give the Canuck a penalty shot. He gives him a little shove, and it's a penalty again because of Hansen going in alone. That's a good scoring opportunity, and I guess you would consider a penalty you have to take at the time. Without hauling him down, Steve, on the shot attempt where it could have been a penalty shot possibly.
So now 52 seconds of 4-on-4 as Bartkowski off the draw sends it back. Hamhuis is under pressure here from Camilleri. And Hamhuis tries the wraparound, but Schneider got there to snuff that out as Merrill plays it for John Moore. Camilleri nicely controlled off the skate.
Sorry, Steve, you saw Hamhuis do a real good job from the back end. He was tough to contain there. Use that long reach, able to come all the way around the Devils net. And there was some opening. He gets a good chance to score there.
Moore one hands it across. McCann gets it away from Merrill, but here's Zajac sending it towards goal. Blocked away by Bartkowski. Punched out of the zone by the Canucks. Picked up here. Verbata shooting, and a save by Schneider.
Oh, what a save. That was a blast from Verbata, who was wide open with more ice on the 4-on-4. Puck gets over him on the right side. He had all day. He can really shoot it. Torrey Schneider came out, cut the angle down, made the save.
Devils are on a penalty kill now. It's an abbreviated power play here for Vancouver. Some 56 seconds remaining on it as Edler works it across. Controlled by Daniel Sedin. Daniel in the corner. Work free by Henrique. Well played as he sends it the length of the ice.
Nice little maneuver off the boards and gets past Burrows with a nice stick handling ability and clears.
Alex Burrows plays it ahead. Now the Canucks gain the zone once again. Bouncing puck handled by Schneider, who's been a rock with 3:50 to go in the second period.
Well, here you see two defensemen get caught on the left side as they were in the offensive zone trying to create. And there's Verbata wide open on the right side. He steps in over the blue line and right to the circle. The big rip. But Corey Schneider saw him way out of his crease. Square to the puck, makes the save.
Henrik Sedin, Steven Gionta in the face-off to the right of Schneider. The Canucks win it back. Controlled by Vancouver. That shot saved, made by Schneider. Rebound loose and cleared by Stempniak.
He's been a rock back there so far with 3:36 left in the second period. Corey Schneider has been awfully good.
Last rush on the Vancouver power play. Henrik Sedin on the move, spins away from Larson and punches it back towards the point. Played off the backboard. They work it away from one of the Sedins. Now it's played across. Weber controls here for Vancouver. That shot is blocked away. Out of the box is Severson, and the teams are back to 5-on-5, but Bartkowski steps up and shoots, and a big block there by Gianta.
And that one really hurt him. He had a tough time getting up. Huge block. Sliding, double pad slide from Steven Gianta.
Centering try by Henrik Sedin. Pops up loose, and Schneider able to knock that away. Stempniak hits Burrows, gloved out of the zone by Severson.
Well, that's one way to get it out. Is Severson just bats it out. He came out of the box, was playing forward. Good penalty kill there. Devils desperately needed to get that out.
Schneider can't control the puck. Now Cracknell misses on a hit on Green. Spiza redirected in front by Derek Dorsett, and that went wide. Canucks stay with it, and it's played back. Hamhuis with a shot fired wide. Palmieri waiting for it, trying to control it off the boards. Two Canucks converge on him. 2:20 to go in the second period. Devils have a 1-0 lead. Hamhuis plays it in. Behind the net, Andy Green. Hit by Cracknell. Comes off the board. Cross played it down low, and Schneider sticked it away from Cracknell in front. Devils still under pressure here. Dorsett tries to bring it in front. Canucks play it back to the point where Spiza on a backhand shovels it in deep once again.
Now there's been some shift from the Canucks, and they've been able to change and spent the better part of over 1:30 in the Devils zone. Devils finally clear and get a change. Andy Green was awfully tired in his own zone as he did a good job, but had to continue to play tight defensive hockey, and he was exhausted.
Perfect velocity on the clear by Adam Larson, too, so the Devils can get the change. Taken away here by Berchi, and punched back in deep by Tanev. McCann tried the center one. Puck taken away, though, by the Devils, and Zajac able to collect once again. Lifts it into the Canucks zone where Farnham bears down on Alex Edler. Canucks look to break out, and they do. Played off the near boards by Radim Brabata. Fired back in by Tanev. Now Jelena reverses course with the puck taken by the Devils, and O'Neill finds Farnham. Final minute of period one. Bobby Farnham works it across, taken here. Ryan O'Neill able to control, centering try for Jelena. Got by him. Now John Moore able to hold the zone for the Devils. Hamhuis takes it behind the Canucks net and works this to Higgins. Canucks break out neatly here. Bo Horvat, the crossover move on Moore, but he banned on the shot.
Well, John Moore looked like he was beat, but he stayed with it. Good second effort.
Hamhuis, soft shot, gloved by Schneider with half a minute to play in period number two.
John Moore, you know, sometimes players are going to make good moves. Bo Horvat did, and John Moore looked like he was going to be beat, or Horvat was going to cut the net. He was able to turn in time. Let's watch it right here. You see through the neutral zone, a lot of speed. This is Horvat, makes a nifty little move, but John Moore gives him a little shove, throws him off balance enough that there was no chance. And there's Steven Gianta doing the little things you need to win. Goes down, blocks a shot. He felt the wrath there.
Look out, Daniel Sedin with a centering try that's quickly covered up by Schneider. Well, Dano had some strong words for the off-ice officials, and they've listened. Zajac credited for the second assist on the goal.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going stir crazy here, Steve. We're at the end of a road trip, and I'm going, I swear I saw Travis Zajac cycling out there, but good for Travis. That was a good shift on that goal. I've liked the way Eric Jelena's played tonight. He's kept it simple, but he's used his assets as well as had a couple of shots.
John Hines was telling us this morning he'll gauge Jelena's success by how he plays without the puck. So far, so good tonight. Here's Kalinin. Cut off at the pass by the Canucks. Guided back to the point. There's a penalty coming up against Vancouver. Shot by Larson is tipped out of play. 4 seconds left, and they've got one of the Canucks for hooking.
Yeah, Sergei Kalinin drew this penalty. It's going to be Daniel Sedin going to the penalty box. Let's take a look. See Kalinin, there it goes again, where he uses that big body to shield off the defender and tries to cut the net. You see Sedin right there, just to stick in the midsection a little bit. Enough to call a hooking. So they'll get a fresh sheet of ice in the third here, Steve, but still 4.5 seconds left if they win the draw and get a chance on the power play.
Adam Henrique will take the face-off. Off the draw, they knock it away from Stempniak. That's all for period 2. Devils will go to the third, leading the Canucks 1-0. Mike Camilleri's 7th of the year is the difference. Dev should catch up with him on the Chevrolet second intermission. Second period highlights in Vancouver with Dano.
And there was a lot of battling in the trenches here. Kyle Palmieri, this is just a great shift. Effort, compete. As he's down, he gets pulled down, stays with that puck, able to keep it alive. He gets up, finds a open Mike Camilleri as the puck squirts to him, and he scores the first goal of this hockey game. What patience by Camilleri to put it down or between the legs of Markstrom, who was down. And then right here, there's a blast from Jelena that Markstrom gets a piece of, as well as the bar. And you see the Devils determined in front, but there's Sedin Daniel on the doorstep to the left of Schneider. Corey comes across, makes a beautiful save. And here's the redirection, the set play. Henrik to Daniel on the power play. And Corey Schneider all over that. But look at the determination. Devils blocking shots. That was Andy Green there. Watch the back check here from both guys. First Travis Zajac taking the man to the net. And then Mike Camilleri picks up Adam Cracknell. This is the pass was coming to him for a beautiful scoring opportunity. And there's sacrifice from Steven Giotta as he sprawls out and blocks that shot there. So Devils for 40 minutes anyway, Steve. The determination's there, the hunger, the back checking. Canucks really came on the last 5 minutes. The power play, then after that they were able to carry that through and get some opportunities. But I just like the compete level, the work ethic for 200 feet so far tonight. They got 20 more to go.
The Devils have not lost this season when leading after 2 periods. They're 5-0. They'll start this third period with 1 minute 56 seconds of carryover penalty time to Daniel Sedin, who's been the Canucks' most dangerous player tonight. He has 4 scoring chances to lead all players in the game. Devils now looking for the extra goal as they win the face-off back, and it's controlled by Palmieri. 4 forwards and John Moore on the ice as the power play continues with Palmieri working it across for Moore. Soft shot blocked away in front and cleared by the Canucks. Palmieri punches it ahead off the stick of Jacob Josephson. Kalinin can't get there in time to disrupt Tanev, who sends it the length of the ice. Here's Kyle Palmieri. Devils power play 0 for 2 coming into this chance tonight. Zajac on the puck will fire in. Kalinin collects along the far boards. Now Moore punches it deep, taken here by Josephson. They got it back to the point. Palmieri plays it across. John Moore on the puck, able to walk in and shoot. He fired that. It was fought off by Markstrom.
Ooh, that was a big save there. Markstrom got a piece of that. That was a blast from a sharp angle from Moore.
50 seconds to go in the Devils power play. Here's Camilleri on the move for New Jersey. Has the only goal tonight for either team. Picked up here. Henrique knocked off his stick. Prust tried to clear it away, but intercepted by Stempniak. They bank it off the boards for Adam Henrique. Opts to guide it back to Green. To the circle. That shot is rifled by Stempniak, and it went wide. Picked up by Camilleri. Dishes back to the point. Green shoots. He scores! Andy Green with the wrist shot. And it's a power play goal. The Devils extend the lead to 2-0.
Well, this is a real heads-up play from Andy Green from the point as he looks off. Kyle Stempniak on the side, I believe it was, and decides to just fire this puck. Great keep-in on the high shot from the point from Stempniak. Camilleri keeps it in, and he looks off Lee Stempniak right there and decides to shoot the quick wrist shot and catch Markstrom. Catches him by surprise, as you see. The Vancouver defenseman Barkowski actually screened him there to give the Devils a 2-0 lead. Real heads-up kind of fake pass, look off, and then Andy Green fires it toward the net. Good things happen when you do that sometimes.
What a big goal for Andy Green. That snaps a 9-game point drought for Green, who had an empty net goal in a victory at Philadelphia back in late October. And the Devils extend the lead for Schneider here in Vancouver. Hamhuis punches it across, and now Weber And the Canucks able to guide it to center, and Hamhuis is on the puck. Motors into the Devils' end, send it towards Schneider's net, and he sticks that aside. Mike Camilleri and Lee Stempniak get the assists on the goal by Andy Green, his second of the year at 1:31 of the third. Henrik Sedin on the half board, plays it behind the net. Brother Daniel waiting for that. His centering try, disrupted by Larson, comes right back to Daniel, and he sends it behind goal for Henrik. Glove down at the point. Hamhuis fakes a shot and dishes off here. Hansen, pass.
Well, partner, I'm going to give you kudos because you talked about it today before the game with me that Andy Green's been so good defensively, but wouldn't it be nice for him to chip in offensively?
Shot fired
exactly
wide.
what he did with that goal. You talked about it the last goal, him being the empty netter.
Henrik plays it down low. Chance for the Canucks, and the return pass for Henrik Sedin is off the mark. He doesn't have the assist he needs to pass you on the Devils all-time list, so that's on hold for Andy.
That's next for him. I didn't even realize that. Thanks for telling me that, but I'm sure a lot of defensemen are going to pass me in that department. Certainly not in the penalty department.
We'll give you the heads up. That one might be safe. Picked up here and taken by Baertschi for Vancouver. He's checked by John Merrill. Now McCann. Able to backhand this back to the point. Edler's pass whisked across. It stays in the zone, and that shot is fired wide. Picked up by the Canucks again. Bad save by Schneider. The shot by Edler got through once again.
Boy, did he have to be quick to react there and make the right pad save. That puck was labeled for the right corner, and he just caught up to that at the last second with the right pad.
Corey Schneider stopped all 20 the Canucks have fired at him to this point in the game. Picked up here. Schneider winds it around. Puck taken by John Moore behind his net on that primary assist by Camilleri. That gives him 20 points in 20 games to start the season. He's 2 assists shy of tying his total from all of last year. Bo Horvat, neat little move, played across, and that shot wouldn't go as it's picked up by O'Neill. A penalty coming up against the Devils.
Well, Canucks have really turned it up a notch after they've gone down 2 in the Andy Green goal. And the last couple of minutes, they have been all over the Devils in their zone. Devils forced to take a penalty here.
Door is open. They have not signaled the player yet. They're watching the last opportunity on the big board here that seemed to go off one of the Canucks, and we'll get a look now.
Right there, I think it's going to be a hooking call on Jacob Joseph. He's going to get his 3rd minor penalty if in fact that was the play in the high slot.
Now the referee Steve Kazari is over to converse with John Hines.
It's Bobby Farnham going off, and I'm sure. Oh, here we go. It is the hat trick for Jacob Josephson.
Farnham gave it a try. He would have been happy to serve.
The old college try. Jacob Josephson kills penalties at times, right? So we've seen that happen ever so often from a lot of teams.
He was hiding his best, Jacob. Off the draw, controlled here by Vancouver, and here's Henrik Sedin. 5th power play of the night for the Canucks. Daniel behind the net for Henrik. They drop it back to the point. Big shot fought off by Schneider on the blast by Yannick Weber.
Oh my, Corey Schneider is zoned in. Yannick Weber blast this one-timer.
Correction, Dano's 6th power play of the night for Vancouver. They had that abbreviated one earlier.
And you see, puck comes over to Weber. They move it around the perimeter, finally set up Weber for the blast. And there's the beautiful quick glove save from Corey Schneider, and he hangs on.
Off the draw, controlled by New Jersey and hammered out of the zone by Andy Green.
Now that's too many penalties. We know that, Steve. They took 6 in Edmonton, and Coach Hines said that's way too many for our team. But some of these were penalties that you wouldn't consider bad ones. They're in the offensive zone, or the Canucks were in the offensive zone, and they deterred scoring opportunities.
Here's Green again, another opportunity to clear, and he does.
Those ones at times you will live with for sure, because, you know, it's either a glorious scoring chance or try to kill a penalty, and the penalty killing unit's done a heck of a job.
It's successfully killed 13 of 14 power plays for the opposition on this road trip. And still time here. Comes in front. Daniel Sedin tries to throw it off Schneider. Loose in the crease. And John Moore with Schneider deny the Canucks at the doorstep, or is it going to count?
It's going to be a penalty shot, I think. I think they believe John Moore covered it up in the crease with his hand, and they're calling. And that's exactly it. They're calling a penalty shot. Oh boy, Devils had an opportunity here. That puck almost deflected in off John Moore, but you see they had a chance to clear it. Comes right out to Sedin in front. Schneider makes the save, and right there you see John Moore. He covered it up with his body, it looked like. Let's see, but it's in the blue paint right there, and he keeps it out of the net, but Canucks are awarded a penalty shot, and it's Radim Vrbata.
Here we go. Big moment in the game as Radim Vrbata bears in on Corey Schneider. Goes backhand, and Schneider fights him off.
Oh, my. Oh, terrific hands move by Vrbata. Ends up on his backhand. Corey Schneider stretches out as far as he can to make this save. See Vrbata come in, go to the backhand, and there you see Corey Schneider loses his stick and everything. Mark that one in your book if the Devils go on to win this game. That is a huge save on the penalty shot from Vrbata.
56 seconds remain on the penalty to Jacob Josephson, and off the draw, Henrique sees the Canucks. Sedin throw it on the high slot. Weber will get on this, and now Vancouver resets. Here's Henrik Sedin. Gives to Daniel. Daniel threw it in front. Knocked away by the Devils. Edler delivers a check on Larson. Puck still loose in the Devils' end. And it comes here to Henrik Sedin. Gives to Daniel, and they drop it back for Weber. Now Edler shooting, and Schneider got just enough of that. And the face-off will stay in the Devils' zone.
That could have hit crossbar as well, Steve. I want to make, Corey Schneider's been terrific. I want to make point as well. If Vrbata scores on that penalty shot, Devils are still shorthanded. Correct?
Yes. Yes. You know, it's not that the coach has the choice. The Canucks moving the puck so well, would you almost rather have the 5-on-3 instead of the penalty shot in that situation?
Anytime you got the opportunity for a penalty shot, you get to pick your best shooter. You want to take that chance, I would think.
Here's Andy Green. He'll lift it away for the Devils. Game in which New Jersey has taken 7 minor penalties, including the last one by John Moore, and they lead 2-0 here in the third. Baertschi racing in. Larson sends it the length of the ice. 5 seconds left, and the penalty to Josephson as Tanev collects the puck. Jacob Josephson standing up in the box, and the Devils survive again. Here's McCann motoring in for Vancouver. Glove save by Schneider, who holds on. Canucks power play is 0 for 6. Devils have a 2-0 lead. Cadillac trivia question. The last set of brothers to be on the same Stanley Cup winning team. I think it's your former defenseman partner and his brother Rob. Let's see if I'm right.
That's the only two I could think of.
And we are.
There they are.
2007 Ducks. They wanted to play together and try to win the Cup.
And I know what that meant absolutely to my former teammate Scott Niedermayer. Hated to see him go, but he was able to go play with his brother and win the ultimate prize together. That had to be special for the whole family.
And Rob would eventually play for the New Jersey Devils after that. Here's Steven Giunta trying to get on the puck. New Jersey trying to board the plane back to the east on a winning note. Giunta sends it across. He was looking for Brian O'Neill. He wiped out, went hard into the boards, and there's a penalty coming up. More importantly, is Giunta okay?
Yeah, it's Lucas Sbisa. He plays with reckless abandon. Lucas Sbisa, good hard-nosed defenseman, but boy, does he play reckless.
Hey, join the Devils in supporting Jersey Cares. They hold their annual coat drive presented by PSE&G. Bring a new or lightly used winter coat to the Devils-Canadiens game on Friday, November 27th. Receive 2 tickets to an upcoming game. For tickets and more info, visit NewJerseyDevils.com/coat drive. Sbisa for tripping, 6:35. Devils on the power play. Green able to hold the zone and play it to Mike Camilleri.
I'm not so sure it was a trip, Steve, but he just plays that kamikaze style, and it's dangerous at times. I mean, he can hurt guys.
Guided back and taken here. Stempniak plays this to Andy Green. Camilleri on the puck. Mike Camilleri controlled off the skate. One-time shot by Tutu. Fought off by Markstrom. Still loose in the slot. Tutu looking for another chance as the whistle blows.
Well, good net front presence from Jordan Tutu. There's Giunta, gets in behind Spiza. All right there. His stick just kind of got caught into his feet. Accidental, but they call it. Doesn't matter if it's accidental. There's the chance from the Devils as Tutu digging hard. Devils come close. Markstrom covers up.
Off the draw, one back by New Jersey, and here's Andy Green for Camilleri. Henrique return pass broken up and cleared by the Canucks. When Andy Green scored a power play goal earlier in this period, it marked the 14th time. Taken here, the intercept, and they score. Out of nowhere, shorthanded goal by Henrik Sedin, and the Canucks are back in it.
This is just a giveaway, and the Devils falling asleep here. Miscommunication. Cory Schneider tries to feed it up to Stempniak, but Andy Green should have just talked to him and taken that puck, and that's a pretty heads-up play. I give the Canucks credit as well. And who else but the Sedin twins cut this lead in half, and that is a tough goal to give up shorthanded.
The number I was about to impart, this power play that's been terrific, it's produced a goal in 14 of the 20 games the Devils have played, but they concede a shorty, and that's been an issue for New Jersey. Josephson on the puck. Hamhuis able to work this away. Puck taken here. Burrows in the corner, converged on by Travis Zajac. The fans now have come alive at Rogers Arena in Vancouver. Along the near boards, Kalinin plays it across, and John Moore steps up, shoots, and that rifled wide. Picked up here by Palmieri. Half a minute to go on the Devils' power play as Kalinin has it. Pass to Zajac, and he shot that wide. Taken here by Palmieri. Hamhuis takes it and sends it the length of the ice. Boy, just when you think you've got the Sedins under control a bit. Another giveaway, sent in front, and crossed is denied by Cory Schneider. What a big save to maintain the lead.
Well, there you go again. I mean, this time it was Eric Gelinas. And look, he's trying to chip that puck hard, but it all started from play right here. You see along the wall, and it's picked off. You got to get that puck hard or protect it. Cory Schneider makes a big save. So look, a couple of errors from the Devils here on this power play, Steve. They still have a 2-1 lead. They have to shake it off, and you know, they just have to talk about their communication between their goaltender and defense at times. As Cory Schneider has been superb tonight, but we've seen some costly giveaways, and I think that's just a communication factor between the defenseman and their goaltender once in a while.
For Henrik Sedin, his 7th goal of the season. Daniel got the assist at 7:21. Here's Gelinas in his own end for John Moore. Penalty time is up. Teams are back to 5-on-5, but it's now a 1-goal game. Devils power play is 1 for 5 tonight. O'Neill chases Spiza. The Canucks break out. Alex Edler over the line will play it in deep. Gelinas hit deep in the zone by Cracknell. The puck came back to him, and Eric Gelinas punches it ahead. Bobby Farnham sends into the Canucks zone. Tanev tries to spin away from him. Chris Tanev, 6th-year NHL defenseman, can't get it out of the zone. Camilleri tried to poke it free with one hand in the direction of Henrique. And now Camilleri takes it again at center. Mike Camilleri for Adam Henrique. Shoots. Another shot. He scores! Puck came right back to Adam Henrique. And the Devils get back the 2-goal lead.
That's the answer the Devils were looking for. There's going to be mistakes in a hockey game. Canucks almost tie it up. with the Brandon Prust opportunity on a giveaway from the Devils as well just before this, but they come right back. The initial shot from Henrique, he follows it up with a snapper that blows it by Markstrom. Nice play from Mike Camilleri backing up the defense and giving Adam Henrique time to shoot as he drops that puck to him. And there on the rebound gives the Devils a 2-goal lead again.
9th goal of the season. Team leader is Adam Henrique with 10.5 to go. Devils still a long way from home here, but a bit more breathing room than they had a moment ago after the Henrik Sedin shorthanded goal. And Vrbata plays this in deep. Henrique able to work it out of the zone. Icing is waved off. It's a 3-point night for Mike Camilleri. He gets the primary assist on the Henrique goal. Larson gets the other. Back come the Canucks as this directed towards Schneider, and he reaches out and gathers the puck in.
DraftKings brings us our DraftKings spotlight. It's going to be Ryan Johansson, the next opponent for the New Jersey Devils. You see 16 points on the year. Play daily fantasy hockey on DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of the National Hockey League. And this is the Columbus Blue Jackets. And I think this young man can be one of the best players in the National Hockey League. You want to see it a little more consistently, but with that reach, that size, playmaking ability, terrific shot. He has all the tools to be a dominant player in the National Hockey League. And if he's not already, he's close. But just they want to see it a little more consistently from him, Steve. He can take over a game by himself.
Hamhu's play is deflected out and will step aside. Better than halfway through the third. 3-1 New Jersey.
Those are SUVs today. GMC, we are professional grade. We're going to see Mike Camilleri open the scoring of this hockey game with a beautiful feed from Kyle Palmieri. Canucks cut the lead to 2-1. Brandon Prust right there on the turnover. Could have tied this hockey game up. And shortly after, Adam Henrique picks up his own block shot and gives the Devils a 2-goal lead again with a beautiful snapper. Those are your GMC keys to the game.
Off the draw, puck deflects back towards the Canucks end. This has all been about a response tonight by the Devils. 2 minutes, 4 seconds after the shorthanded Canucks goal. Devils do respond with the Henrique goal. It's an icing call here against Vancouver in a 3-1 game. This team responded from an 0-3-1 start under John Hines to win 10 of its next 13. They didn't want the bad things that were happening at the beginning of this trip to really begin to creep into their game. They've responded with what's clearly their best game of this road trip, and they're looking for their first points on it tonight.
Yeah, and even with, we talked about a couple of quick mistakes, Steve, and they were glaring errors. Miscommunication with Corey and the D, then the turnover in their own zone, but they fought through it, and that's what teams do. If you want to bounce back and get in the winning column, because they've done so many good things tonight for the most part of this hockey game, except for that short spurt on the power play and shortly after.
Hansen digging for the puck in the corner for Vancouver. Comes to Kyle Palmieri, who sends Zajac on his way. Plays it across. Here's Sergei Kalinin back to Zajac and broken up by Hamhu's, who rides him into the boards. Henrik Sedin tries to feather it out of the zone, and now the Canucks break it out. Just over 9 minutes to go in regulation. Puck came out of the zone, and the Canucks are offside. Lexus brings us tonight's upcoming schedule. Devils come home. They face the Blue Jackets Wednesday night at 7 on MSG+, and then back-to-back against the Canadiens. Friday, we're at The Rock. Saturday at Bell Center in Montreal on MSG. You mentioned Johansson earlier. The Blue Jackets also blocked 26 shots in their recent win over Nashville. You can tell they're getting what John Tortorella wants out of them as they continue to rebound a bit from that 0-8 disastrous start. Markstrom stops play as this goes into his glove. Lost today, though, to San Jose, which completed a perfect road trip at 6-0. 5-3 was the final in that one.
Sometimes I can't figure out that team. I mean, they look like they can't be beat at times, and then they'll lose 5 in a row and go, who are these guys? So they got to find that consistency, but boy, are they on a roll. Sharks are.
Off the draw, taken here by the Devils. Matteau able to control. They play it back. Merrill punches it across. Eric Jelana's shot is blocked in front. Josephson battling in the corner with Prost, and now Matteau delivers a hit. Rifled shot by Jelena into the catching glove of Jacob Markstrom. No Ryan Miller tonight for the Vancouver Canucks, and there's a good reason for that. He's played more minutes in the NHL than any other goaltender this season. Started 13 of the first 14 games. And a quarter of the way into the season, you don't want to wear out. If he's not your most important player, he's darn close. We're going to see a lot more Markstrom as the months wear on.
Bill Markstrom's played pretty well tonight also.
Intercepted by Camilleri, passed by Stepniak, fought off by the Canucks. Camilleri's had a whale of a game, goal and 2 assists, turns and shoots. And that's Stepniak who's hitting the high crease as the Canucks break back the other way. Bo Horvat motors it. Oh, what a beautiful move. Played it across, and Schneider with a better save on Burrows.
Oh, put that on your highlight reel. This is some kind of move by the youngster Bo Horvat. Watch this, speed through the neutral zone. And the little toe drag gets around Severson. Moore tries to help him out. Looks like Alex Burrows going to have the open net. And Corey Schneider dives across, makes the save. Burrows unable to get it up and over the goaltender. But what a move from Bo Horvat. That was special.
Corey Schneider's been special. He stopped 29 of 30. McCann on the face-off against Steven Giunta. Canucks have outshot the Devils this period 11-5. Spiza plays it in deep. Adam Larson there to work the puck away. This is gloved down by Steven Giunta using that entire 5'9" frame. Blocked away in front and picked up here by Adam Larson. 7 3/4 minutes to play. Devils have iced the puck here with a 3-1 lead. Earlier tonight, Montreal defeating the Islanders by a score of 4-2. If the Devils hold on and win this game, they'll tie the Islanders for 4th place in the Metropolitan Division. Brendan Gallagher suffered 2 fractured fingers in that game. That's a big loss for the Canadians.
He's a real heart and soul kind of player. Gives them a lot of offensive production as well.
Out indefinitely, off the draw. It's taken here by the Canucks. Hamhuis tried to send it in front. Taken away by the Devils, and here's Bobby Farnham. Races into the Canucks zone. Farnham trying to take it away from Yannick Weber. Now the reinforcements are coming, and the Devils take the puck back as Zajac sends it in deep. Palmieri sees it taken away by Weber. Henrik Sedin at center ice. Can't get by Zajac, who sends it right back into the Canucks zone. This is where the Devils prefer to play the balance of this game. Sedin, Daniel that is, works it across. Green knocked it away from Yannick Weber. Daniel Sedin is on the puck once again. Banks it off the far boards, and it's picked up here by brother Henrik. Written off the play by Adam Henrique.
That's what you have to do on the Sedin twins if you get an opportunity.
Hanson power move, blocked away and cleared.
I was going to say, Adam Henrique took them out strong. They're guys with such long reaches. If you only get a piece of them and let up a little bit, they're going to make a play when you have half of their body. Adam Henrique took Daniel Sedin out hard in the boards, and somebody else picked up the puck for the Devils.
They're really gifted. Their size is not the first thing you think of, but they're also big players. Henrik is 6'2", Daniel 6'1", and a lot of skill.
You know, a lot of people talk about, you've heard over the years, wow, they're a little soft, especially when it comes to playoff time. These guys are probably the 2 hardest players to get the puck off a foot from the board. To me, that's not soft. These are guys that play a beautiful type of hockey game.
Cracknell going wide on John Merrill and continues on. Adam Cracknell knocked away. Take it here. 2-2 trying to get on the loose puck and collides with Bartkowski in front of the Canucks bench. Look at 2-2 undeterred. Took it back, and the pass in the direction of Severson is broken up. Now Matteau takes it away from Bartkowski. Terrific work by this unit. Guided back and more. Sends it off the backboard. Jordan 2-2 centering try in front. He was looking for Matteau, but broken up.
Matteau get his first shift in a while, but it's good to see these Devils needed some energy here, get some fresh legs out, and they're spending time in the Canucks zone. The Canucks have really poured it on in the 3rd period for shifts.
Moore Moore shooting, saved by Markstrom. And he covers up with 5:13 to go. Devils looking for their first win on this Western Canadian trip. They're up 3-1.
Tonight's goal of the game is brought to you by Nissan. And you're going to see it right here. Mike Camilleri drops the puck to Adam Henrique. He goes to net. Henrique gets first attempt is blocked, but it comes right back to him. And he snaps that puck far side to regain the Devils lead of 2. And Adam Henrique's played 18:43 of ice tonight. 5 shots on net, Steve, and 6 attempts. I talked about before this game that your top guys have to come through to break losing streaks. He's a clutch guy, and that was a pretty clutch goal to take some of the pressure off the Devils when the Canucks were coming hard, and then made it a 2-1 game shorthanded.
Just over 5 minutes to go as Josephson looks to track this down for the Devils. Under pressure from Yannick Weber and fired back into the corner by Stefan Matteau. Severson to the side of the net. We're 2-2. Battles for the puck with Hamhuis. And the Canucks able to work this across. Alex Burrows on the move for Vancouver. Offside are the Canucks here.
I like this line. Did a real good job. Had a nice shift. Matteau, Josephson, and Tutu. You know, spending time in the Canucks end, even getting an opportunity to score. The Canucks have really pressed. We saw them last night score 6 goals against the Chicago Blackhawks. You know they've got offense. You know they were going to be desperate here in the third. They've come close a few times when it was 2-1 of tying it up, but the Devils bent but did not break, and Adam Henrique gets that third goal. 3-1 where we stand.
Spiza now looks at the length of the ice, and the Canucks with 4.5 minutes to go. Devils try to finish their business here in Vancouver. Daniel Sedin fires into the Devils' end. Jannik Hansen under pressure in the corner from Green. Comes back to Bartkowski at the point, who plays it across. And that shot is easily kicked out by Schneider. Henrik Sedin battling with big Sergei Kalinin. Gets some help from Zajac along the far boards. Canucks trying to hold the zone. Zajac just trying to kick it out of harm's way. And it's taken here by Travis. Skates it away for the Devils and works it across. Feeds Camilleri. Puts the brakes on. Devils in the midst of a change, and he was all alone. Now Merrill pinching in on the far side. Taken by the Canucks. And Spiza works it ahead for McCann.
I think Mike Camilleri thought he was going to have a good opportunity. Cutting up at the half wall. He goes, where'd everybody go? He was the only Devil on the ice. But he made a smart play and reversed it back in the Canucks zone.
And we watch Edler for Vancouver fire in. Jelena will get on the puck. Gets it away, absorbs the check by Vrbata, and the puck taken here by Camilleri. Can't bank it out of the zone. Edler instead plays it in deep for Baertschi. He's checked by John Merrill in the corner. And Jelena again can't clear the zone. It's Vrbata shooting, and that's blocked by Henrique. Tanev picks it up and winds it around. Here's McCann. Gave it away to Stempniak, who chips it away. Jacob Markstrom in goal, under 3 minutes to play. He looks to the bench. Tanev works it across, and now Markstrom is off. The Canucks will get the extra attacker on, still with better than 2:45 to go. Taken here by Daniel Sedin. Willie Desjardins, the coach, sensing this is his shot. Sedin threw it in front. Burrows trying to get on that. Knocked into Corey Schneider. Puck winds around. It's taken by Weber for the Canucks. Into the corner. Henrik Sedin is on it. Gets it back for brother Daniel. Now the loose puck jarred away by O'Neill. Bouncing puck taken by Daniel Sedin, who fired it wide. Now Burrows gets it. All pressure time here for the Canucks. Hamhuis shooting. That's wide. Picked up by Henrik Sedin. Quick release at the side of the net by Burrows, but that wouldn't go. Now Daniel Sedin threw it right across the crease. Oh, with great pressure. The Devils trying to keep the lead, too. Hansen shot on the one-timer blocked away. Henrik Sedin will track it down in the corner. Devils can use a change here. Taken there by Henrik. Back to the point. Weber shot, and that's blocked away by Bobby Farnham.
Yeah, Bobby Farnham with no stick.
Hamhuis has it for the Canucks. Played into the corner. Hansen worked it across. Great passing here. Shot at the side of the net. Jamming at it. Burrows. And what a hit he took from Moore. Penalty coming up against the Devils. Controlled by Henrik Sedin. Moore gets a stick on it. There is no whistle yet. There's only 1:28 left in the third period. Weber plays this to Henrik Sedin. One-timer broken up again and out of the zone. Still no whistle.
Devils desperately need a change. They get a couple of guys off. Finally, the whistle's blown. And John Moore's going to get a roughing call or something in front here. This is the part that frustrates me. Burrows is allowed to stand there, bump into the goalie, do whatever he wants. How do defensemen defend? We're going to watch right here. Well, there he gets, okay. Now, from that angle, his stick comes up too high. But he's in front digging. The defense has got to defend. He's bent over there. Now, John Moore does have to go lower. I understand it's a penalty. But for anybody, I'm saying you got to be able to clear guys in front, and it frustrates me sometimes. That was a penalty. But you see too often they call an easy little cross-check, Steve, where a guy goes down effortlessly. I don't like it. Defensemen have to be able to clear the crease.
All right, so personnel for the Devils. Zajac and Henrique. Green and Larson after Moore goes off for high sticking at 18:44. The Canucks wouldn't concede possession. And the delayed penalty call went roughly, I would say, 35 to 40 seconds.
When you have an extra man on now, too, with the goaltender, it's so tough to get the puck from the Sedins. They control it so well.
Off the draw with the Canucks net empty. That shot deflected. Daniel Sedin behind the net for brother Henrik. Centering try by Bravata is broken up, but not out of the zone. Daniel Sedin on the puck once again for Vancouver. Drops it back for Weber with a minute left in the third. Daniel Sedin looking for the redirection, and Larson clears it away.
Oh, boy, that's a huge clear. With under a minute to go now, Canucks with the goaltender pulled on the power play.
Off Daniel, and the Canucks, amazingly, have iced the puck. I thought Daniel Sedin made contact with it. He did not.
Boy, Devils dodged a bullet just before the John Moore penalty, where the Canucks were in the zone for a minute, 32 minutes. But the Devils continued to battle, compete. Corey Schneider, who has been absolutely fantastic in the nets tonight, has made some saves that you wouldn't believe. 44 seconds left, Devils up 3-1, and you would think they're going to come out of the Western swing with something to show for in a good plane ride home.
37 seconds to go. The long pass collected by Bravata. Plays it off the boards. Daniel Sedin for Henrik, and he sent it across. Bravata couldn't get on it. Controlled by the Canucks. 27 seconds left. They drop it back to the point. Weber loads the gun for Edler, and that's blocked by Jacob Josephson.
Beautiful sacrifice of the body from Josephson.
Behind the net, Henrik Sedin gets it back. Now Weber shooting, pad save by Schneider. Collected by Daniel Sedin. Henrik drops it back on the perimeter. Weber fires, and that went wide. 5 seconds to go. Taken here by Edler. Another save by Schneider without his stick. They score just as time expires. The Devils are going to win this game. Let's see what margin victory it will be.
Well, you see the green light on behind the net, so did it cross the line? It looked like it went off the bar and down, but was it before time expired? But nonetheless, you mentioned it, Steve. The most important thing here is the Devils are going to escape Vancouver with a 2-goal win or just one, as they might have scored on the buzzer, the Canucks. Let's take a look at it right here. And boy, it was a shooting gallery. Canucks with 2 men, 2 extra men. There's the goal. Let's look at the time clock there. Puck ricochets everywhere, and in fact, that looks like it's going to be a goal as it went off the goal cam. And the Devils are going to win this game 3-2.
0.6 of a second, it appears, when the puck broke the plane.
And I know that's going to disappoint Corey Schneider, but the most important thing is the win. He was fantastic. The Devils fought, scratched, clawed. And Adam Henrique's going to get the game-winning goal now, and that turns out to be a big one.
And that is one of the saddest horns you will ever see to celebrate the Canucks goal. There are 0.6 of a second. We'll have one ceremonial face-off, and then the Devils will head to the locker room. Zajac with one last act, and that is all. They used to cheer Corey Schneider in this building. Tonight, they watched him play a hell of a game for the opposition. He's allowed 2 goals or less in 8 of his 9 last starts. 10th win of the year, 107th in his career.
Well, and he made a lot of saves of the quality variety, especially in the 3rd period.
The Devils win the finale of the Western Canadian trip. The Jag Physical Therapy postgame show coming your way next on MSG.